Clever stuff, JCB, clever stuff. Who knows what they're doing right now? Not me. Welcome back. It is the big barn build. Big day today because we've got some nice chunky deliveries coming, and also it's the kids' last day of school, for one of them at least. Right, new purchase, rightly or wrongly. I've got an old scissor lift. It's all inspected, all in certificate, and I think it's going to be worthwhile having. Although having seen how big it is and how heavy it is, it might be a bit much for indoors. But for getting all of that vaulted ceiling work done, all of the external cladding where we've got access to it, might be a good shout. And then I'll just flog it on as soon as we're done with it. But I've got to get it unloaded, and I don't really want to use the ramps. It's not really an off-road type thing, and it's probably not even, I think it can go up to 20 degrees or something like that. Anyway, fortunately we've got this guy out on hire for the roofing, so that's how we loaded it. The other end, I'm just going to put the fork straight in the pocket, lift it off. I think they're automatically adjustable forks, which means we're going to have to work out what button does that. It's an auxiliary jobby. Could it be that one? Oh, it is. Look at that. Oh, that is nice. I didn't even have to get out of the cab. Clever stuff, JCB, clever stuff. Well, what it's got in strength you don't really get in visibility, but it got the job done. So we're off. I'm going to park this up now. I assume this is pretty weatherproof for the time being. I can always sheet it up. Let's hope it works. It's actually a lot bigger than I expected, and the reach on it, I think I'm right in saying the working height is 10 meters, which is twice the height of the barn. Seems a bit nuts, but anyway, who knows what they're doing right now? Not me. Hey folks, welcome back. It's the big barn build. It's nearly 10 o'clock at night, but tomorrow's a big day. We're getting our steels put up, so join me now and we're going to work out how high they're going to be. With the help of a laser, a Sharpie, a very tired 11-year-old. Right, I think we're at 2455 to the top of where the steel mezzanine's going to be, because then we're going to have our joists hanging between that, and we'll counterbatten below to drop our ceiling below the steel height, so we've got a flat continuous ceiling. All right, Dave's arrived. We are officially steel fabricating of some sort, way or another. I went up, as you saw last night, we've got all the levels sorted. I've done it to the bottom of the steel. Really, it should have been the top, but at least as long as we know what the mark is. And then we've just done a laser measure to get our distances. So this is a 9.5 meter or thereabouts. It has all been calculated now and taken account for the width of the plate. Dave's going to cut that down now, and then hopefully at some point we'll get a forklift in and lift it up. So if I measured it right. Dave is doing the welding, I've been tasked with drilling. So I've done this one up here with the mag drill, and I'll show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. We were going to make a template, but in the end it's been easy enough just to transfer marks. So we've got this plate here, which is basically simulating the plate that is being welded onto the end of the beam. So we're 50mm up, 75, 75, and then we're measuring off center line. So that's easy enough. Squares all set up, ready for it. Punch hole, then we'll mag drill. Try and get a bit of a point on this. Right, these are the steels that we actually haven't cleaned up yet. Not that it matters. We will be cleaning all the verticals and repainting, but I've just scraped off anything loose. So that's why it's a bit pitted. So they're all marked up now. I'm going to put a punch now on all those crosses, then we can get the drill on. Right, our very first beam is welded up both ends, but before we start trying to get it all bolted up, Dave's just going to do a test, just to inspect his own welding. What's that?
This is just a white backer so I can see the ink. Because what I use is a magnetic particle solution in, well, a black ink.
Yeah.
And it's got iron filings in, and the iron filings will, with a magnetic field around it, it will find and sit in a surface defect, like a subsurface defect.
You mean if there's a hole?
Yeah. If there's perfect. To be fair, I'm a bit close to the hole. It might be a bit defect. Bring a pause a bit closer, really, it should go right. The other one where I nailed it with a chisel, there's no defects in that.
So what would you see if there was a defect?
Well, you see the line showing up there.
Yeah.
Where I've nailed it with a chisel. If that was like a centre line crack, which would go all the way through the middle, although technically it's 48 hours, but or I'd see a hole there where the crater, where you always get crater cracks on mag welding, and as you see that line's come visible where I've nailed it with a chisel, as it wasn't really visible before. Yeah, okay. And all it does is just show me the defects. So if you had a hole in the middle of the weld, if I had like a little cluster of pros, you just see like a little black dots.
Yeah.
Or if it had like a centre line crack, you'd see a massive crack going all the way through the middle. So you can see like all the ripples in the weld.
Yeah, okay. Alright, time for a bit of steel logistics. We've got to get the telehandler out of the way now, so we're going to move all of the steel that way, switch to the forklift, get out the other side of them and bring that one back. Right, it was looking dubious at one point because the weather has not been on our side. However, we made do, and Dave stuck around. It's getting late now, but we're going to try and get this one up, and then next Saturday get the additional members in. So there's one that goes across here in the stairwell, ties these two together. There's a couple which sit in stud walls, which obviously we don't need to do at this point. And then there is a goalpost sort of frame over the front door, and as an additional support, these are not going to span the 9.5 meters that they are. They're going to sit down on the pads that we poured. So there's some plates already made up, they just need to be drilled. They're going to get welded top and bottom to those 100 square hollow sections. And then finally, over in that corner, there's a truss detail, which is less time sensitive, but it'd be worth getting them in while we've got a chance to use the forklift, at least get them close enough. And then the rest we can do with genie lifts or something in the future. Once the floor's down, we can't really bring any heavy machinery in, but we can certainly get them closer. Just like that, we have some horizontals. I'm not going to call it an upstairs yet because we're not that close, but it's encouraging, isn't it? And it looks like we've got the levels right. Ian and I last night with the laser. I've actually left the 6-foot level up there, but I'll move it across and check this one at some point. You can't see the bubble, but I can, and it is absolutely smack bang in the middle, which is amazing. So they're going to be absolutely fine for now. What we'll do, we were just talking about it, we could have mag drilled the holes ready for the plate that drops down to here while it was on the bench, but it's not the end of the world. We can use it upside down, we'll just strap it. So I think there's 4 fixings in each in there, and there's a really big plate down the bottom which will be resin fixed down, and there's also a load of concrete to form a collar around anything below ground like we've done on the old columns. Same on that one, and then eventually when we get to the upstairs there's an additional that one's got a stud wall on it which will go all the way up, offer a bit of extra support to the roof, and then this one in the middle here has a 100 by 100 column which goes up and catches the roof just again to offer, but there's a bit more of a clear span area there. There's no stud wall. That's where the landing is. So all being well, next job will be to get this one put in here. I actually ordered the wrong size steel, it's bigger than needed, but it's the same dimensions as these. So it should be able to notch around the flanges and go in, which will create the stairwell. And then we've got a cantilever section as well, which is a bit of a headache, but we'll save that for another day, another rainy day. Well, we better move some stuff out of the way so you can go home.
Well, like I said, I like camping. Got a tent.
Dave almost became a resident welder then. Alright, it is the Monday morning now, and as you saw, we managed to get it done. There was a point in the day where we thought we were going to have to give up because of the weather. We battled on. I made my little makeshift shelter, kept Dave on it, and we managed to get 2 big beams up, which is a huge win because visually it feels like we've done something. Dave's going to come back next Saturday. We're going to get in the horizontal joining bracing steel, and then there's also a bunch of more complicated truss work to build to add to what's already here, but that'll have to be for another day. I'm going to say a big thank you to Dave because it's not the easiest place to be welding when you're outside in the rain in a barn, especially when he's used to working in a big warehouse with 3-phase everything and big machines. But we got the job done, and it's great that he's certified and everything to be able to check and test the weld, so that was quite nice to get done, just a bit of reassurance. There's additional supports to go in as well, some columns, and that'll be next Saturday. So there we go. I'm going to leave it there. Stressful day today because the roof arrives in the next 10 minutes, and I have no idea how that lorry's going to get up here, let alone how we're going to unload it, bring them around and put them up. And it's a bit windy today, so here's hoping it all goes well. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.